What's going on, everybody? I'm John from Twisby Records, and I'm here today to share with you my winners and losers of NAMM 2024. Let's get right into it.
I hate long intros!
We're going to start off at number 8, and we're going to start off really strong. The biggest winner, number 8, is this guy. A DJ that goes by the name of Suet. He was walking around NAMM having a one-man rave with a mobile rig that he built, and he was showing off his new Omni Duo from Alpha Theta. I stumbled upon his video. He was live streaming on YouTube, trying to find some content to watch to see what was new at NAMM. I know a lot of people were there creating content. Some people were live streaming. Decided not to go this year, still wanted to see what was happening. His video showed up in my YouTube feed, and originally I was going to put it in the losers column because it's kind of ridiculous just a DJ walking around with a mobile setup having a one-man party. But the more I watched this video and the more I saw him get into it and get everybody else into it, he won me over too, and it looked like one hell of a good time. If I had been there at NAMM and I found Suet, I would have probably followed him the entire day and not done anything else. Looked like a really good time. And Alpha Theta, you can't buy marketing like that. You can check out a link to his video in the description below to see the one-man rave and all the good vibes that were happening as he was walking around the show floor. Moving on. At number 7, we got PK Sound, because we have to give a shout out to our brothers in arms in live audio. We used to be full-time live audio engineers and system techs here at Twisby Records. We still do it part-time because it's a lot of fun going to live shows, and not having to pay to get in, it's even better. PK Sound had a really impressive showing at NAMM. They brought their new TB robotic line source element, and apparently the presentation was pretty wild. The technology is really exciting. Robotics going into speakers is just mind-blowing. Here we are in 2024. It figures to make system techs' lives a lot easier and will greatly enhance live shows. And now that we're getting robotics into speaker cabinets, we are just 2 steps away from getting them to load and unload themselves off of trucks and push themselves there. Once we get to that day, maybe we can finally start to get rid of our chronic back pain. Moving on. At number 6, I've got API for still being on top of and killing the 500 series game. I didn't see anything mind-blowing from API, aside from them announcing some anniversary editions of some of their most popular 500 series modules, with a nice white finish on them too. Would look real good in a rack. We owe a lot to API for inventing the 500 series technology and providing us with lunchboxes to fill up with gear for those that don't have big space or big budgets. Analog flavor shouldn't be locked behind big studios and big racks. The lunchbox is still king, and as the years go on, it gets even better. API made the list for this because not only did they invent the technology, but so many brands make 500 series modules, and more brands are starting to create 500 series modules. Moving on. Coming in at number 5 is Cream Guitars. And the reason why they made this list, and it's an epic win, is before NAMM 2024, none of us here at Twisby Records had ever heard of Cream Guitars. And we have to credit Ola Ungland doing a walk-around video on day 1 of NAMM. He's a big guitar guy. It's his bread and butter. So of course he was checking out what the guitar manufacturers had on offer on his day 1 video of NAMM, and he walked by the Cream guitar booth, and I had to stop. I paused the video to check these guitars out. Some beautiful designs, some incredible finishes, and it looks like top-notch work. Ola, you helped hand Cream a huge win, and I can't wait to check out all of the guitars that they have on offer. Never know, we might bring one into the fold here. And coming in at number 4, we've got Harrison Audio. It's almost been an entire year since SSL acquired Harrison, and we've been waiting for some exciting developments to come out of that. Tangential to it, they announced and brought to NAMM their 32 classic console. It's got a lot of great features that you would expect from an analog board of its caliber, but the biggest reason why it's exciting is it's actually a new Harrison console. They are a legacy brand with rich heritage. Through the years, many great and classics were recorded through Harrison consoles, so the fact that we finally got a new Harrison console to market is a big win in my book. Not just that, they also debuted their first round of 500 series gear. It looks really incredible, and it's exciting that the Harrison brand is getting back out into the spotlight, and hopefully, being a part of the conglomerate with SSL, we can expect some more exciting things in the future. Come here, SSL, Harrison, come here. I got something to tell you guys. Come here, come on. Okay, Yin, good. You guys should totally do like an SSL version of Harrison Mixbus, but like build it from the ground up and not just base it on our drawer, especially if you're gonna charge a premium for it. Fill it out with some better features, but with all of the sick analog model processing that Mixbus has, and it'd be really cool, and I'd definitely pay for it, and I'd definitely try it out. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, don't you? Okay, yeah, cool. All right, you can back up now. That's good, yeah. All right, moving on. Our third biggest winner of NAMM 2024, this is a little bit general, a bit esoteric.
What does esoteric mean?
You're actually gonna make me look up the definition, aren't you? Okay, all right. Here we go. Esoteric, intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest.
So the word esoteric is esoteric.
By definition, I think so. Number 3 is synth lovers as a whole.
Is that why you use the word esoteric? They would definitely understand that word.
Precisely. The reason why synth lovers get the dub at number 3 is because Korg showed up at NAMM and they showed up in force. If you want to talk about one brand that brought everything in the kitchen sink, they had a really impressive booth at NAMM that I think, don't quote me on this, might have won Best in Show. I mean, they won the only award that matters. My little list here, nobody cares about. They won the Best in Show award, so if you are a synth lover, there's no better time to get into it. Go out, get yourself the Micro Korg 2, get into synthesis, get into sound design, and start making some music. What are you waiting for? Moving on! Our second biggest winner of NAMM 2024 is Oak Sound, and color me surprised. The company that blew up over their Soothe plugin that everybody and their mother uses on every single track they ever record, announced a new plugin, and it's called Bloom. You take one look at this thing, you kind of wonder, did they just look at Soothe and go, what if we did this in reverse? There's not too much we know about it aside from some demos that happened at NAMM. A few content creators walked over to the Oak Sound booth and they gladly gave them demos of what the plugin does. And there's only a short little description of what its features are and will be on the Oak Sound website. But if it's anything like Soothe 2, it's going to end up being a priceless utility that's going to go in every engineer and producer's toolkit. Oak Sound is going to truly become the Frank's Red Hot Sauce of the audio industry. And after you buy it, if you already have Soothe, you get this thing, you're just instantly going to be a top Grammy award-winning producer and engineer. That's just how this works, right? Moving on, we're going to shift gears really quick because we can't have a list of winners without having a list of losers. Kicking off this list at number 5 is anybody that paid for a flight, their hotel, or a badge. The reason being is this was supposed to be NAMM is back. We were supposed to be so back. What happened? I didn't see anything too crazy or mind-blowing get announced at NAMM. A lot of products that either were announced last summer or have even been out to market already. It took a lot of digging to find anything interesting to me, and I couldn't find anything groundbreaking or new for the most part. Yeah, last year there were no the COVID restrictions were very relaxed, but there were still some supply chain issues. So this was going to be the year. We were going to be back, and it fell flat. I'll tell you what you could have done with all the money that you spent going to NAMM, if you spent money going to NAMM. You could have still bought the flight to Anaheim, because if you are anywhere other than California during the winter, at least in the United States, you'd rather be there because the weather's going to be much nicer. So when you get off the plane to Anaheim, you go to the first used car dealership you see, you grab the general manager and say, hey, I've got $3,000. I'm going to stay here the next 4 days over the weekend. What I need you to do is I need you to grab all of your salespeople. You're going to give these guys megaphones. I'm going to sleep right here on the middle of the showroom floor, and I need these guys to tell me all about the cars that you have on your lot that I've seen for the last 30 years. That's the NAMM 2024 experience in a nutshell. To me, I didn't see anything new or groundbreaking, and that sounds like a much better use of the money than paying for a flight, hotel, and your badge. Moving on to the fourth biggest loser of NAMM 2024 is the residents of Anaheim, because the content creators live streaming probably ate up all the bandwidth. Because we didn't go to NAMM this year, we tried to find some content creators live streaming or at least making videos of what they saw. And on day one, I was frantically searching YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok just to see if anybody was walking around live streaming from the show floor or anything unique. And what I saw was crickets for the most part, maybe 3 total streams on day one of NAMM, and one of those streams was 3 hours of potato quality. I thought there was a problem with my own internet connection. We've got a gig internet connection here, so there should be no problems. It wasn't a problem on our end. The VOD that's on YouTube of this live stream, the 3.5 hours of it is 100% potato quality. So I can only imagine that all of those people and all of those creatives walking around NAMM trying to create and film content just brought the bandwidth of the entire city of Anaheim down. So if you were in Disneyland having a good time with your family and you wanted to take a video or stream your kid getting scared senseless on the Tower of Terror, you were probably shit out of luck. And I'll be honest, I am aware that Disney World and Disneyland exist. I've been to Disney World, never been to Disneyland. I'm not sure if the Tower of Terror is in Disney World or Disneyland. If you know, feel free to correct me down in the comments below. Moving on to the third biggest loser of NAMM, we've got Dolby Atmos.
Boo!
Yeah, that's right, Dolby. Apparently last year they had an impressive setup showing off a lot of stuff, and this year the most that Dolby could be bothered to bring was a bus. They brought a bus into the convention hall of NAMM. This bus is the John Lennon Institute bus. It's a partnership with Dolby and Apple as well. They've put a full 914 Atmos setup in this bus where you can make your Dolby Atmos mixes and listen to them there too, because that's really the only place they're gonna ever sound as good. The only other thing that I could find from Atmos was a few manufacturers and third parties adding more spatial support for not just Atmos, but other spatial standards as well, like Sony's 360, and overall, an unimpressive showing as far as Dolby Atmos goes, and they'll forever be a loser, no matter whether it's NAMM or anything or anywhere else, because you can't convince me that Dolby Atmos is ever going to sound good in a consumer context. It's not going to happen. It's never going to be the exact same experience with binaural and headphones, 2 speakers versus 11. You can't overcome physics, at least not yet. And it's not going to be how people listen to music. We decided 60 years ago how we're going to listen to music, and it's not going to change. You can spend all that time making an Atmos mix and people are still going to listen to it right off their phone speaker. Moving on. Biggest loser number 2 is Schecter Guitar Research, because man, oh man, have you seen this thing? I mean, would you just look at it? Yeah, take it in. Yep, take it in. Right here. Yeah, this monstrosity is the brainchild of Schecter and their newest golden goose, Machine Gun Kelly. And, you know, MGK, I'm not hating. I don't got a beef with you or your music. What the f*** with this guitar? You clearly did this to get a reaction, and you've got a reaction. So Schecter, you managed to get out of the Ed Hardy tap-out days of the late 2000s with your guitar designs. You've got some great ones. I've had for a couple of years a Sun Valley Super Shredder. It's an incredible guitar. This thing, on the other hand, I mean, maybe Guar would have been a better fit. Dimebag Darrell might have rocked one of these, although I don't think he would have ever done something so tacky. I just don't think razor blades when I think Machine Gun Kelly, and this thing is just absolutely fucking ridiculous. A side effect of Schecter winning the second biggest loser of NAMM, we have 2 honorary mentions for winners that didn't make the cut, but because of this, they still need to be mentioned anyways. Number 1, I've got Alex Skolnick, which you can see right here. And the reason why he makes the cut as a winner is because he's probably the only person that could sit down with this guitar at NAMM and still look like a badass. Maybe it's because he's the lead guitarist of Testament. Maybe it's just because it's who he is. The guy does ooze charisma. But Alex, big win. You managed to make this guitar look a little less ridiculous. Our second honorary winner is Machine Gun Kelly. Dude, you got the bag, man. This thing is fucking ridiculous, but everyone that sells, got to get those royalty checks, man. Congratulations, and Schecter, I still don't know what you're doing. Before we get back to our list of winners, we've got one more loser, and it's the biggest loser ever. This loser has been in business for 78 years. They've brought a lot to the music industry, and they brought a lot to the guitar world. Technological innovations, modernizations over the years. Many people swear by their products. Our biggest loser is Fender. For this thing right here. You see this thing? You see that thing right there? Just take a look at it. What's it remind you of? This is the Fender Deluxe guitar amp stand. I'm sorry, Deluxe wooden guitar amp stand. Let me run down the list of features of this technological marvel for you. This is from Fender. It's a mid-century modern design that channels an iconic style for a timeless piece of gear furniture. Its wooden construction ensures reliable use with flexible incorporation into most interior decor. Yeah, it's really going to help the feng shui of your bedroom. Its weighted base supplies added security and stability without compromising visual aesthetics or obscuring your guitar.
It says without obscuring your guitar.
Without obscuring your guitar, yes.
It doesn't say guitar amp.
No, that's exactly what it says, without obscuring your guitar.
Why the fuck? What?
Yeah, without obscuring your guitar. I don't understand. I didn't write it, I'm just reading it. That list of features is great, Fender, but I've got a list of features that I think would better motivate people to open up their wallets and pay $299 for this hunk of wood. Starting off with number 1, it can double as a seat for Sunday service when you're done playing guitar on your worship team. Number 2, this thing is great for bedroom guitarists because you can place it at the foot of your bed and now you have a convenient seat to sit down and take off your shoes at the end of the day. The convenient storage drawer can store, picks, cables, guitar straps, all the normal stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You can also put the Digitech Bad Monkey that you spent way too much money purchasing last year, and you can store all your past due electrical bills in there that you haven't paid because you ran out of money because you spent $299 on a fucking church pew. Honest to God. It's now February, winter's almost over. However, when the next Arctic blast comes through, you have some nicely finished firewood to burn to keep warm because you're out of money because you didn't pay your electric bill, which means you definitely didn't pay your gas bill, which means you probably can't afford rent because we know you can't afford a mortgage. Fender's description says it's laminate wood. I'm not sure which species laminate wood is, so burn at your own risk. Might be carcinogenic, might be not, but when you're sitting in the dark alone, you don't have many options. And the final feature is, I guess you can put a combo amp on it. Fender, massive L in my opinion. What are you doing? What are you doing? $299 for this? Come on. There's better things to pour R&D money into than a slab of wood that's not a guitar. One way I think you could have truly made this better is, where's the wheels, Fender? Take a look at this picture. There are no wheels. If you would have at least put wheels on this, I could see it being useful almost anywhere else than limited to just your bedroom. That was the best you had, Fender, really? I can't wait till next year's NAMM when you announce the Couchacaster. This thing's gonna be a 6-seater lazy boy with Fender branding that plays Stairway to Heaven on repeat as soon as you sit down and doesn't stop until you get back up. Those were NAMM's biggest losers. There were only 5. Relatively short list, amazingly. Now that we got the losers out of the way, back to the winners. This is it. We finally made it to the top of the list. There can be only one true winner. At the top of the list of my personal winners of NAMM 2024, we've got SSL.
You're a simp.
I'll simp for SSL all day. Have you heard their products? They're quite good. The reason why SSL takes the top spot in my book is because they finally announced the one thing that most of us were all waiting for. An update to the 360 app that will allow you to map third-party plugins to the UC1 controller. Finally! The update's going to ship with a bunch of pre-configured maps for a lot of popular third-party plugins and manufacturers, and you'll have the ability to make maps if they don't exist for the particular plugin that you want to use with the UC1 controller. Now, SSL, if I could offer you any piece of advice, and you guys are smart, I know you're probably already thinking about this, but for a UC 2.0, 2, whatever you're going to end up calling it, how about we get some LED scribble strips on there? That way we can actually read what the parameters are on the control surface. Because wouldn't it be nice to not have to stare at the screen to know what the parameter is as you're making your adjustments? I think that would be pretty cool. But knowing you guys, you probably got something cooking up that's going to be pretty good. And that's it. That wraps up the list. Those were my top winners and losers of NAMM 2024. But wait, there's more. Winners should win something, right? That's normally what happens. If you call them a winner, you gotta win something. And because we believe in fair sportsmanship here at Twisby Records, the top loser's also gonna win something too. But for the champions, Solid State Logic, I want you to know I'm proud, very proud to present you with this banana. Yes, you have won a banana for your update to the 360 app. Yes, it is this specific banana. As you can see, it is very ripe. Perfect for banana bread right now. So to claim your banana solid state logic, please reach out to us at Twisby Records is our handle on pretty much all socials. Please, I want to get this banana to you, and it's going to have to go overseas. We're going to hold on to it until you claim it, so please, the sooner the better, because it is this specific banana. And of course, a prize for our biggest loser, Fender. You disappointed us, you broke our hearts. We thought you were going to do better, but you didn't. You dropped a huge bomb on NAMM. So to help cover the scent of that shit fest, we've got this bottle of Febreze. You can see it's been used, but you still got about a third of it left. It is spring and renewal. Smells quite nice, eliminates odors, but also it is currently in use, and it will still continue to be used occasionally until you claim this, but we will hold on to it until you reach out to us. Remember, you can at Twisby Records on pretty much all socials. Please reach out to us because we would love to get this to you. That way you can stamp out the stench of the shit you just dropped all over NAMM. Next year, try not to stink the place up so much. Please, as a fan, love you and all you do. All right, that's it. That's finally it. Finito, the end. There's one last thing that I would ask you to do. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below telling me what you think about the list, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, think I'm unfunny. Doesn't matter. Put the comments down there. I love to read them. I'd love to interact with you all. With that, I've been John from Twisby Records. You guys have been the internet. See you next time.
Did you just say you've been the internet?
Yeah.
What the fuck?